Hi guys, welcome back for another video. In this video, we're going to take a look at the Dell Inspiron 660. This also comes in another flavor, the 660S, which is a more slim version. That's what the S stands for. But they both use the same motherboard. And we're going to take a look at the potential of upgrading this motherboard and even putting it into a new case, which is what we're going to do in part 2. Here for part 1, I'm just going to go over the board a little bit here and a little bit of what's on the front here and how we're going to arrange this when it goes into a new case. We'll start out with the USB ports, I suppose, and the card reader up front there. You see those. On a lot of Dell systems, not a lot, but on a few, the headers for those are proprietary. You're going to see that sometimes when you open these up. And one of the first things I like to check is, are these proprietary headers for that USB up front there? And looking down here, I can see a little black one there. It's plugged into one. I'm assuming that's probably the card reader. And this green one here that's got 2 headers, I'm guessing that's the 2 USB jacks. And then this yellow one over here is the audio header. So the answer to that is no, it's not proprietary. So, yep, you absolutely can use this into a different case without having to swap anything too much. Now, one problem you might run into is some of the newer cases, well, a lot of the newer cases have USB 3.0 headers. You know, with your cables to plug in, and of course there's no USB 3.0 on this motherboard. So what you can do in that case is just make a little trip to Amazon and get yourself one of these. It's just a CNCT 19-pin USB 3.0 to USB 2.0 adapter, and you see right there, that's a female right there, or excuse me, male pin right there, that will plug into the female header of the new case that you buy. And on the other end is that adapter right there, which will plug into the motherboard. So that way we can get our USB 3.0 working in here. Let's see. And then it also has a card reader. If I, let's see, how am I going to do that? I think what I'm going to have to do, since it only has 2 USB headers, and I kind of want to leave the card reader too, is I'm going to go with a case that has the built-in card reader. And the one that I had in mind is one that I've used before. It's the SAMA Maxcool. It has the built-in card reader, 1 USB 3.0 and 2 USB 2.0. You can still hook that up. Now, if you look right here, that of course has got 2, I don't know if it'll focus, it's got 2 headers that would plug into there. That would actually be a simple hack. What I would do is take this header, which is just a single one, and get my little tool and pick out the pins for one of them and just use the one, because that SAMA case has got just 1 USB 3.0 header. You can see that. And so all I'd have to do then is hack this little header for this, because that'll only plug into one as well. And just kind of make up my own little header for it, a little custom header. So it's a little bit of work there, but I think we can do it. We can get the original USB 2.0 working, add an additional USB, it'll be 2.0, even though it'll be blue like a 3.0. And then, of course, get the card reader working too. So I think that'll work out just fine. Another thing in this board that I actually kind of like is it has onboard Wi-Fi right there. And you know, it's just the same kind that would go into a laptop, and it's the same type of cables. And they lead up into there, and I'll have to figure out where that goes and disconnect those and pull that out. But yeah, I'm definitely going to reuse that. I looked on the Dell community forums to figure out what processor would go in here. And you get different answers, but I think what I've narrowed down to is the Intel Core i5-3450 will absolutely work. And so that's the processor I got coming in for this. If we look on Dell's website, under the service tag, we can see that this computer originally had an Intel Pentium G2030 and 4 gigs of DDR3 1600 megahertz memory. So that's what this is right here. So we can definitely pull that out and upgrade that processor. Now, I looked around to see what else would work in it. And one thing I came across was, you know, userbenchmarks.com, which is a pretty awesome website. And I put the Inspiron 660 in there to see what else people were using in it. And what I had noticed is that the 3570K also works in it. And then I think I seen a Core i7, there it is, the 3770K. People on the Dell forums are like, well, any 3000 series, you know, blah, 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 will work, this will work, that'll work. I don't know. I'm not going to go any higher with that on the CPU. Mainly because the guy that this is for is, you know, 72 years old. It was something his mom had bought new, and his mom had recently passed. And he asked me if I could do something with it. And I was like, well, yeah, sure, of course I can. So that's what we're going to do. You know, definitely got to get rid of that Pentium. You know, that's just got to put that quad core in there. And the memory, you know, that's easy. That's DDR3. We can get that real cheap. We'll double that, turn it to 8 gigs. And from what I understand, 8 gigs is the max this board's going to hold. So, whatever. But that's enough for him. I mean, it's not like he's gaming on it. You know, it's not like he's doing, you know, Photoshop on it. You know, he's doing like LibreOffice on there, and, you know, writing his stuff and just doing, I guess, you know, old people stuff on it. So it's not going to be something that it's going to need to be super, super powerful, but it definitely will be a lot more zippy. All right, the next thing I want to talk about is the power supply. This thing, you know, I used to like Dell years ago, back when they made quality computers, and they weren't bad at all. You know, it was, I've always built my own, but I've always told people, back then I had told people that, you know, if you want one, buy a Dell, don't buy HP, don't buy Compact, don't buy Acer, don't buy, just, you know, they're all crap, every one of them. And over the last few years, Dell's really kind of slipped. And this power supply right here, I don't know if we can focus in. It's only like 200, 250 watt, something like that. And it's kind of like they give you like the bare minimum that will get you by on this configuration. And I suppose, you know, for this configuration, it's fine. But now with the processor upgrade coming in, we're going to be tossing in a little more wattage there. It's this is, I think, a 55 watt chip. I don't know. I'd have to look it up. But the Core i5 that I got coming is like a 77 watt. So we're going to be throwing in a little bit more wattage through there. Plus the memory is going to put a little more wattage in it there. And then something else that we're doing is we're going to put an SSD in here. So that's basically going to be 2 drives. This is a 1 terabyte drive. I did a little test fit right here to look at the potential on this. And look at this crap. Let me unplug this. I don't know, I guess you can see it. Let me adjust my light here. look how tiny that is. Look how much space you get. You know, and if you set this up straight, look at this. And most of these brackets that you get for these 2.5 inch adapters will go over. There's like just hardly any room to plug that in at all. It's, if not, almost impossible. And I thought of, you know, taking this one, maybe mounting it down there. Look at that. You can't reach nothing down there. It has to go something right there. Well, I could take it out from here and unplug it there and use it. But I don't know if you can see this or not. It is very, very short. It would never reach down in there. I mean, that's just useless. But, you know, I suppose they did that either to save costs or to, you know, so you didn't have a bunch of wires jumbled in there. But, yeah, 250 watt, useless cables. Yeah, this power supply is definitely going. So if you're going to put it into another case, junk that. I'm telling you right now, junk that power supply. Just, you know, for your own sanity, junk it. I guess if this was going to be a gaming case, I guess it wouldn't be too bad. You know, you got a 16x slot right there. You know, so you can put a decent graphics card in it. What do we got? One fan header there. And that's it. Yeah. So, yeah, absolutely. A Dell Inspiron 660, you absolutely can upgrade, and you absolutely can put it into another case with not too many problems at all, except for the, you know, like the USB header that I talked about. But like I said, you can get that part pretty cheap. What was the price on that? Let me check it real fast. $489. So, yeah, you know, that's cheap. You know, like $5 to get a little adapter there to put it into a more modern case. But that's the end. This is going to be the end of part 1 here, and in part 2 we'll take a look at the new home for this computer. Oh, and if you're wondering what size this is looks like it's a micro ATX here. See where the screws are. You got what, 4 slots here. So, yeah, that's going to go into a micro ATX. And it looks like it extends out a little bit. That it's almost the size of a ATX. But, yeah, should fit into a micro ATX case just fine. All right, we'll see y'all in part 2. Bye, guys.